What is going on, true believers? We've got some unusual XRP whale activity. We've got $2 billion liquidated on this last crypto dump. Does that mean 40,000 is imminent? Are we going to break down? Could we break down below 52,000 all the way down to 40,000? There's a lot to unpack here. And by the way, I do think that the dip that we had last night kind of measured out to the right spot where, we could be looking at that capitulation move. There's a lot of fear in this market right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, RLUSD should be launching in weeks, not months. Fetch.ai sent DWF Labs $12 million worth of tokens out of nowhere. Bitcoin, maybe we're looking at a problem. And rest in peace, Polygon MATIC. You will be missed. Polygon MATIC is no more. It has been converted over to POL as its new governance token. And then Iggy Azalea and her butt are interviewing with Justin Tron to see if there's any kind of collaboration that they can do together. Said Justin Tron. Oh, yeah, there is, baby. And we'll get all that and more. MSI kind of broke out. We talked about it on the chart list. If you watched the trading show last night, you know that it was breaking out, and it broke out. So we'll see what happens. DevvE, not as much, but I remain incredibly bullish on DevvE, and we've got an update over there as well. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
Guys, TerraCasino.io for all your risk-based gaming, PvP, poker, sports wagering, whatever it is that you're looking to do. Crypto trading, you can do it there too. You can play blackjack, any type of table game. Additionally, there's plenty of slot machines for you to choose from, and there is a robust group of people out here doing a lot of risk-based gaming. Guys, this is an opportunity for you to earn a little bit of crypto. Prove that you belong in the casinos at TerraCasino.io. All right, Jack, let's get at it. Did I sound like Joe Biden at that point? Yo, Jack, let's get at it. All right, so this is this is absolutely crazy. And really, it wasn't 2 billion; it was 2 million. But a $2 million long got liquidated in the market last night. Very big liquidation. So what is really going on? Good morning, first of all, to everybody. And we had 2 billion. It turns out there was actually 2 billion liquidated. I'm just kidding. But 2 million in one transaction was liquidated, and then another one for another million. It was all happening like one after the other. So close to $2 billion liquidated in this market. 1 trillion liquidated out of the U.S. market in a 24-hour period. The Dow Jones absolutely crashing and bottoming yesterday. Does that mean that it's going to reverse for the next big leg up? Does that mean that it's going to be a positive day? I don't know, but it was price action that we haven't seen in, I'm just kidding, it was only a couple days. At the beginning of August, we had the other. It dumped at the beginning of the month. It seems to be doing that. And by the way, there were gigantic gaps left over here. This is what it looks like, by the way. This is the U.S. market. Look at the enormous gaps that were created right here and right here and right here. So you can almost guarantee that those are going to be filled down to 39 before we continue on, because those are probably your basic futures gaps. So, but this market, this market is it is doing its best right now to cut your throat. It hates you. It can't stand your guts. Why is that the case? It's not really the market. It's really market makers. The American market makers especially. But last night, Japan, the Nikkei continued its crash. So that wasn't very good. But here we are today, still alive, still thriving. But we got some unusual buying activity that was happening over on XRP, and it seems like there's been a lot of accumulation recently by whales. And by the way, it is not solely XRP that we're seeing that happen on. There are a lot of different projects right now where we're seeing a lot of whale buying. Now, the whales, they just continue to DCA their way down through the whole thing. They're throwing their capital at it slowly but surely to continue to accumulate. So, but we are in this spot right now where we are seeing this incredible move where people are just accumulating. And you know why? Because they know that it's getting ready to come. When will it be here? Well, probably not going to be September. So most of the market, if we were to go back and look at it, most of the market really kind of looks like this is a horrible time for any kind of positivity, if you will. Let me show you, as a matter of fact. Let's look here at Bitcoin, and we want some data here. We want to see Bitcoin returns, and we want to see it on the yearly. And let's go. We got it right now. So as you can see from this right now, and by the way, does that look washed out to you? Because that sure looks washed out to me on the screen, but I don't know what is going on with this thing. This is September. And if you notice here, there's really only been 3 positive months. Now, I said the other day that, if you really break it down here, this -19 and this -13, there's kind of outliers. And of course, so far we're down 4% on the month. So, we could still see a lot of downward momentum and a lot of downward pressure here for this market, because it is not working out fantastic yet. But here's the thing. September, as Billy Joe Armstrong said, wake me up when September ends, because guess what? Right here, this is where you really get bullish. November, this is where you get really bullish. Now, December, a little bit mid, but positive overall. However, let's look at the numbers here. The average uptick for October is around 23%, with the median being 27.7. And then the average over here is 46.8, with the median being 8.81, because there's that 440. There was a gigantic move in that 1 month right there. So kind of offsets it. But as we've seen, October and November are really good for pumping these charts. And really what we need to do, if we're doing this appropriately, is we need to look at the years when we have a halving. In the halving, we've had 2020, we had 2017, 2013, 2017, 2021. What can we glean by that in December? -34. So that was after that gigantic, that makes sense, right? Then we had this move right here where we had another 40% almost increase in 2017. And then 2021, that's where we got right there, and we had experienced all of that mad COVID money, dog. Actually, you know what? I'm doing this wrong. It should be the 4-year. So it should be it's not the actual bull year. It's this one right here. So this is what we had 4 years. And then 4 years before that, we had the same thing over here. I should be using that because next year is the number there. So 2020, we had 3 big months right there. 2016, 3 big months, 4 if you consider this. So, I would venture to say that, when we look at this overall, we're probably going to have a pretty good run over the next little while. I think that we're really kind of zoned in for a pretty good move. So let's continue to work our way through this, and let's see what happens. Let's see what we got here. Oh, by the way, look at this. For those of you that don't know, I do have a shirt line, and we've got the Axio Mother shirt, which awesome. Just absolutely awesome. So if you haven't already, you might want to go and you might want to pick one of those up, unless you're a nerd. unless you're a nerd. So anyway, and then right here, boom. There's the shirt. So I hope, and by the way, the link is in the description. Spreadshirt. You can go get yourself a shirt today. And there's a whole bunch of different designs, by the way, just in case you were wondering. These are what the designs look like. You have the newest one over here, the new Believes Crypto with the skull and crossbone logo. Then you have Actual Mother. Then you have Believes Descendants style. Then you have I Am Not Scared of You, Carlos Ben Armstrong. Then you have We Are the True Believers Luna Classic design. And then you had Crypto Believer right there. So a bunch of different designs. And if you're still vaulted, you can have a Vaulted Believer shirt as well. Remember, I gave out a bunch of those a long time ago, and I continue to wear them to this day because I really like the design. But if you're interested, you can certainly go check that out. So let's get back into it. John Deaton last night won the Republican primary, which means that he's going to be the opponent of Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren, and she came out last night and thanked everybody for her primary win. And I mean, look, she throws a lot of money at this stuff. But here's the thing. John Deaton has been in favor of building pro-crypto regulations and supporting the innovation taking place in the crypto industry. His thoughts would align very much with Donald Trump, who has vowed to support Bitcoin and other digital assets with the goal of making America the crypto capital of the world. Now, if you have been on the fence, let's say that you're a Kamala Harris fan. Now, and for the record, I'm no Donald Trump fan, but I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris has not said anything that would give me reason to assume or believe that she is pro-crypto in any way. There's nothing. Now, we've heard some secondary stuff about people having meetings, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen Anthony Scaramucci come out. We've seen Mark Cuban come out and say that they've had meetings, but there's no substantive meetings. And it was the Biden administration that, and by the way, Harris is part of the Biden administration, but she is her own candidate. What Biden believes, she doesn't necessarily believe. So I understand that there could be some difference in opinion here, and that we could end up seeing a nice change of policy and pace from her. But at this point, I have no reason to think that she's going to be the one. So if you are pro-crypto, then your vote should be for Donald Trump. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I am telling you that if you're pro-crypto and that's your point, then Donald Trump is your guy at this point. Okay. Now, pro-XRP lawyer Bill Morgan stated that the top political analysts with established election models struggle to predict the impact of a candidate like John Deaton because they choose to ignore his influence in the crypto community, especially his prominent defense of the XRP community. So it is possible that you could see a seismic shift over the next 2 months where Elizabeth Warren is out in the Senate, and you could see a pro-crypto candidate coming in. Speculation is running rampant here. Like, will he get a lot more support? And remember, there's going to be a lot of money thrown into this election because getting Elizabeth Warren out of office is probably paramount to cryptocurrency. She has been a very difficult, obstinate sort of Navajo at trying to keep crypto down. Now, hopefully that doesn't last, but we'll see what happens. Also, Brad Garlinghouse issued a statement, which is not on here, but there was some speculation about whether the SEC would appeal the recent ruling for Ripple and the SEC. And remember, the SEC came out and said that they were happy with the ruling. The Ripple was ecstatic with the ruling. So they asked Brad Garlinghouse, what are the odds that the SEC would appeal? And he gave his opinion at the Korean Blockchain Week. And he said, regardless of whether they choose to appeal, we do not see any credible path for the SEC to challenge the core ruling, which is that XRP is not in and of itself a security. Nothing will change in that context. So we've already established, we do have case law now. We do have a reason to believe positively about cryptocurrency. So that's the question right now. And they're not going to be able to contest all of that. You know what I mean? Like, they're not, the best they can do is contest the penalty. And if it's not a security, then I don't see any path forward. I think they take their money and they run, and that's the end of it. But we shall see whether or not, in fact, by the way, Ripple is supposed to be making the payment this week. So we could possibly be seeing this really start to get we start to look in the rear view mirror and see some real closure coming very soon. And by the way, something is happening in the market. We're starting to see some real positive movement here, and it looks like it's Solana. Solana seems to be moving really rapidly right now, up 2.5% after being down quite a bit over the last. I think we're seeing here. We're just going to stop here for a second, and it's not huge. No, you know what? We're fine. It's not huge, but just so you guys know, this is what we're dealing with right now. So there seems to be a little bit of breakout. By the way, I moved everything to purple just in case you were wondering. Changed all the colors, try to simplify them. We're still down pretty big on the day, down 24 billion, but that was 31 billion, 32 billion when we started the show. So hopefully it's going to be an indicator of some positive momentum. Dow Jones is up 100 points at this point. So I'll keep you informed if there's anything that happens. But along with that, there is an XRP stablecoin. It's called RLUSD. And guess what? Brad Garlinghouse at the Korean Blockchain Week, he said, we will certainly launch soon, weeks, not months. And he confirmed that RLUSD has already been minted and signaled that the whole project has been advancing rapidly. So they have their own stablecoin now. The question at this point would be, what is it going to look like? And is it just going to be on that network? And if it is it backed? You'll need to see some real information about this. And this move follows Ripple's strategic decision to develop a new stablecoin in response to the destabilization of USDC, the second largest stablecoin, which lost its dollar peg in March of 2023. And if you remember, March of 2023, Silicon Valley Bank was shut down by the Fed, right? Or by the bank. And once the government stepped in, they shut everything down, and a lot of money for USDC was tied up into that bank. Not enough to affect them, by the way, but money. And that caused a depegging because you had a broad sell-off, which dropped the price of USDC down to 89 cents, at which point Justin Tron bought like $1 billion worth of USDC over that weekend. And then on Monday, when they had access to their funds, it went right back up to $1, and he made a tidy $100 million profit. What a smart guy Justin Tron is. He took a big risk, but generally a really smart play right there. Speaking of smart plays, him and Iggy Azalea's butt are going to be interviewing each other or something. I don't know what's going on here, but I know Justin's son looks kind of creepy to me. Like, I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying that he's reaching out to Iggy Azalea right now about some collaboration. That's what we call it now, collaboration. That's for you, Justin. Anyway, so Ripple is releasing their stablecoin, which we should know a little bit about in the coming weeks. But you know who really kind of got things weird right now is in the last couple of hours, $12 million in FET was sent to DWF Labs from a FET native wallet. $12 million is a veritable fortune in any liquid token, but it's not just the value of the transaction that captures the Cryptosphere attention. It was the project it's affiliated with in the industry that it operates in. FET has a market cap of $3 billion, and now DWF Labs is in receipt of $10 million. DWF Labs is a blockchain venture capital an accelerator with many strings to its bow. It funds Web3 startups, sponsors hackathons, supplies market making for crypto projects post-TGE, and provides OTC and high-volume trading services. It has its finger in many pies. In other words, it's not just highly active, it's highly ambitious. With a portfolio of more than 700 companies, DWF Lab proudly claims to have supported more than 20% of the top 100 crypto projects by market cap. That makes it unrivaled among blockchain venture funds. So their strategy isn't based on pray and spray either. Not only do they meticulously scrutinize every project, but they often follow with a value add service, such as an introduction to a partner network and market making. As for where Fetch comes into play, DWF is a major investor. They closed a $40 million round in which DWF Labs predictably led, which explains the receipt of $12 million in FET tokens, potentially from that seed round that they had before. This can be stated with certainty. DWF Labs isn't about a market in the market to sell millions of dollars in FET. And here's the thing: if they did this around a year ago, right? If they did this around a year ago, it could be that this was just a vesting unlock that happened, that it was locked up for 1 year and now it's out. So the question would be what price they got it at, how much was it? If they put in, I mean, really, it's simple. If you put in, gave them $8 million a year ago. And by the way, let's go look and see what FET is up right now. And that'll actually give us an idea of what it looks like. So FET over here, exactly, we're gonna do this on a monthly basis. And we're gonna say right here and here and here and here and here. Okay, so they made a killing off of this. Jesus Christ. It was August of 2023, it was September 2023. Okay, so on September 2023, the trading was right here in the unlock. So what we're talking about is a 400% increase. So I bet if they got 12 million in tokens, I bet they gave up $3 million in a seed round investment. I bet that's what it was. So yikes, that is quite a bit. So yeah, that was a good play by this venture capital company, DWF Labs. So we'll see what they do. I would suspect they're probably going to sell their original investment of 3 million and see what happens on the rest of it. Now, while we're talking about that, let's talk about Bitcoin going to zero, because it looks like Bitcoin, and we have an analyst out here who's predicted 40,600 as to where the next move is going to be on Bitcoin. According to Ali Martinez, the TD sequential indicator in Bitcoin's 2-month chart shows a sell signal. The analysts highlight that if the original cryptocurrency loses the 51,000 support level, it could fall to 40,600. Dipping to 40,000 would translate to a drop of about 28% from current levels. Does that make sense? It really doesn't make sense, but anything is possible in this market at this point. You do have a broad sell-off happening at some different points, and it is entirely possible that that is the next play. And in fact, we'll grab a chart here and I will show you what they're thinking and why they're thinking that that is the next big move. Because in fact, there is this spot down here where it really kind of makes sense that over the next little while that you could see this absolute bottoming. I don't think that it makes sense. I don't think that it doesn't really look that way that much, but I mean, let's look at it right here and you can kind of see. So what we've got here is this move right here, continuing like this move right here gets pretty aggressive right now. And then if we just kind of move this a little bit and say, right here might be the better kind of gauge of what's happening next. But if it breaks down and we start to lose support and the market has any kind of, just call it a black swan, let's consider that here's what was happening, okay? What was happening was we were kind of on this little path right here coming out this way. So it was looking like we would get like a quick reversal or something like that. But then the wicks started happening. Like early on, we were just kind of like right here, and this was an outlier. This was not normal, right? So then when we have more context of what happened, now we start to broaden this little range here. So let me pop this up on the screen and kind of zoom into this range here a little bit. And you can see here that originally this was, we were kind of in this spot right here. We were coming down, but it was not that much. Like that was kind of what we were doing, right? And this right here was kind of just a little wick of an outlier. This was a little wick of an outlier, broke back up into the range and used it as support. So we were good. Everything was looking fine. And then all of a sudden we get this test right here as it comes down. Then we get a big, bold move back up. And then we get this bang, we get this absolute capitulation candle right here, taking us down to 48,000 or 49.2, which was that's kind of a big, that's kind of a big move right there. So now what happens over the next couple of days? Well, there is a strong possibility that this broad market just continues an enormous sell-off, which would take us down into this range right here. Now, if I were to turn on my volume profile one more time and then start to zoom out, then you can see right here towards the bottom of this this zone right there. That's the bounce area. That's what they're saying. That's what Ali Martinez is saying is the next potential path. Now, that would be a gift for you if you are looking to make a play right there. Like that right there is that is an absolute gift. Okay. What I would be looking for right now is I'm still, by the way, in this long. It's down a little bit. It's down, I want to say like 20% at this point. Let me see here. Down 36% at this point. So we're down $500. And again, broad sell-off happening in the market. Will I be able to hold on to this? And I'm not sure at this point whether or not, you know what I mean? I didn't set a stop loss on it yet. Because like I didn't have a problem with this kind of moving down here, and I got some more capital on hand. I think I want to DCA my way down when we get closer to this kind of inflection point right here, because 51,000 is my number. So I think I'm going to throw another 1,000 in when we get around 53.5 or something like that. If we get back down there into that range, but I don't know that we're going to get into that range. I know that we're looking like it right now, but over the last few hours after that wick, we got it bought back up. Then we kind of trended, and we're still coming down a little bit on that sideways sort of action. And by the way, there's information here on some real negative sentiment that happened in the market over the last little while. So I don't know that we're not going to continue on and upwards, but let's go back into it right now. So anyway, prediction for 40,600 coming into play. Will that play out? No. Arthur Hayes, if you guys remember, BitMEX founder, he thinks that Bitcoin is probably going to fall into the range of about 50,000 in the short term. So, there are people out here that are really looking at a large downward push. Now, Bitcoin ETFs, on the other hand, $287 million in outflows yesterday, which represents one of the largest outflows on Bitcoin in a very, very long time. So here it is right here. The outflow was right there, 287, almost 288 million after 175 million, after 72 million, after 105 million, after 127 million, negating a lot of the positive gains that we had over the last bunch of days, like absolutely annihilating most of that. So, the question at this point is, well, what happens next? Well, that, seems to be it looks like, I should say, this looks like the bottom, if you will. And then it looks like maybe there would be a reversal from here, buy opportunity, if you will. And Ethereum, by the way, we should note Ethereum had a massive outflow for its normal volume. Remember, I told you guys the volume was going down, 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 down. Well, it picked back up big time today. So here's the thing. I do think this was something of an outlier. The reason that I think it was an outlier, that we're not really fully capitulating, is because we still had Fidelity with inflows of over $5 million, which means that money was being moved out of the old ETH Grayscale project, and it was moved, some of it, into Fidelity, which doesn't make any sense overall if nobody else is getting any kind of positive inflows, but it did happen. So perhaps we're going to see a reversal today. Why would we think there's a reversal today? Well, Dow Jones is now up 135 points, which means that, people are looking at what happened yesterday as a buying opportunity. What happened yesterday? Well, Nvidia got a notice from the God damn it, now I can't remember who it was. Oh, the Department of Justice regarding insider trading or potential insider trading. Now, that's not a great sign. And you saw Nvidia have its biggest sell-off You saw Nvidia have its biggest sell-off in a long time, coming back down to $107. Now, what does that look like overall? Well, I mean, look, we were up here at 130 just a couple days ago, so this was a big move. Remember, over here, I told you guys, this is prices that we haven't seen in a couple of days. Like, that's what you really have to look at when they tell you that there's this whatever thing going on. Remember, some of these stocks are hot and they're overbought because they're making, record moves. Now, Nvidia had record earnings yesterday, or 26th, they had, or 28th, they had record earnings, and then they said we don't expect it to be that robust going forward for our next report. And we're going to start to see lukewarm sort of results as opposed to these outstanding results. Well, in the meantime, Elon Musk is buying Nvidia. I mean, he's buying big Nvidia chips to create an AI hub, if you will. So I do think that Nvidia probably recovers pretty rapidly, and you can see right now it is recovering in the 24-hour on the day so far. So a nice green candle for recovery. I don't know if it gets back up here right now. There's no reason for it to, but we need to have some clarity with the DOJ and what's happening right there. What is the information that they have? Do they actually have evidence? And we don't know that to be the case. Also, while we're at it, since we're down here, Trump is down here at $3 again. That is your buy signal. So get yourself a bag of MAGA or you're going to regret it. Now, market's still down 24 billion on the day. Let's get back over here. So the outflows were huge. And then we witnessed the death of Polygon MATIC. Now, there's one more thing in relation to, I guess I should say, in relation to this. One of the other analysts disagrees with Ali Martinez, and he says that technical analysis shows him that Bitcoin could drop into the 52,000 range. It says on the daily chart, the asset has been moving lower since the rejection from 64 and the 200-day moving average located around the same area. The market has also lost the 60K level and is currently penetrating the 56K support zone. If this level breaks, a further drop towards 52K would be imminent in the short term, with the RSI also showing clear bearishness in market momentum. A decline seems probable. In the 4-hour chart, it looks like an aggressive plunge towards 52K would be very likely. Now, moving over to the 4-hour chart, and looking at it, you can see that it's kind of breaking down right here in a parallel channel, which means that a move into this downward sort of zone could be on tap. And by the way, let's go point out something that I've been using for the last day or two to try to get to try to simplify some of this stuff. Now, we could have a big run. And this, by the way, is the channel that we're in right here and right there. So you can see that we're in this downward move. And if it breaks out like it did last night and it continues in that breakout mode, then we could be in for a problem. But let's skip that for a moment and let's kind of zoom out here just a little bit and get back to the daily chart. What I've done is I've thrown up a fib retracement tool. Now, what I did is I went back and started rereading some of the fib, and I started getting into Fibonacci in the real world, and I started to see some specific things that are showing up. So I wanted to show you guys. This is my fib tool right here, and what I'm seeing on this chart is that we continue to hit this golden. We continue to hit this golden zone. Okay. And for trading purposes, is called the golden zone, and it's between 0.5 and 0.618 off of the impulse move and reversal. And what are we getting right now? We got to move into this zone, and then what happened? We got a boom spike up to 69,000. Then what do we get? We got a sell off. It actually broke through, but then what happened? It was so quick it snapped back up, and then it came back up into that 65,000 range. And what do we have right now? Well, we have another test happening right here. We had a test happening over here. After the test that happened over here, and we got this move down here into this, we aggressively ran up here again into that 65 range. So what should happen next? Well, it would be my estimation that we're probably going to get another move right here, probably at least to 60,000. This is your spot right now if you were looking for a buy zone. This is actually your buy zone. So in the event that you do that, then I would set yourself a stop loss kind of right here, just in case we break down below it. So if you're buying in, say right now at 56,006, then know that you should set a stop loss at around 56,000 just in case it goes down. So that would allow you, just in case this market starts to take off. And again, the market seems to be, the dump seems to be over. You never know what's going to happen. Again, the US market around noonish today is when things are going to get crazy, because that's normally the time that it gets crazy. Never, it's never with 100% accuracy, but you could see that happen. Now, if that does, then we could be looking at some very low numbers, and 52,100 happens to be the bottom right here. 52,070 happens to be the number right there that says, oh yeah, it's going to get gross. So we could in fact be looking at it getting gross. So let's see, we got price, and we got that, and we got yes, and we got yes, and then I want to look at the font size while I was at it. Text center middle font size. There we go. We're going to do font size of 16 on this. There we go. I want to make a bigger font size here. And then why do I have two of them up? That didn't make any sense at all. All right. So now we've got the locked one. That's the one that we were looking for. And we want that to be 16. There we go. All right. So you can see that a little bit better. But if we bounce off of this, then a move to 60,400 is coming, right? So if you're setting a position right now and you're buying right here, then it's probably going to come up here into the 60,000 range. But after that, that's when we're going to probably come back down. Now, the other thing is it could just continue on back down here and everybody gets wrecked. That's the worst part of this market, is that, once you see blood, then they're definitely going to want to start bleeding. But here's the other part to it. Now, here's what I want to say. When we had this big wick right here, we revisited another, we came back down a little bit, and then we spiked up. Okay. When we did this, we came back down a little bit and we spiked up. Okay. When we did this, we came back down a little bit right here, and then we spiked up. So what happened over here? We came down a little bit, and now we're in that range. We could be continuing a little spike up, right? So it would be in line with the way the market, or the way the structure of this thing is laid out, that we could see a spike coming back up, and it could be as aggressive, in fact, as two lines up here to around 67, 68,000. So it's still possible that we could see a positive, we see some positive action here. We can see that this market just kind of scoops up this dip and just kind of runs with it. And we could see a really good move. Also, should be noted, Solana is continuing to break out. It's up 3.5% on the day. So, and that, by the way, that might be good for Solana meme coins. So I don't know yet, but Myro's up 2.5%, Dog with Hat's up 4%. So, we could be seeing a potential move, or an upside move, for all these coins. So we'll see what happens over here. But until we get a break in one direction, a real solid break in one direction, I don't know. And by the way, Bitcoin down 1.5% at this point, but the market continuing to move. Here we go. Let's look at it on the 1 hour to get an idea. And you're starting to see a little bit of a potential for a spike and a recovery. So the last time we had a big dump was over here. And what do we get? We got an aggressive buyback and an aggressive move. We got some sideways action. Then we got a good spike, and then we got a move over here, and then it came back down. Now, that meant that the bears took a break. So if that's happening right here, then we could look at another aggressive move back up into this range, maybe 58.5, something like that. And then from there, maybe, just maybe, we continue on down for a while. But it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a rally here, or at least it looks like there should be a little bit of a rally right here. So it might be a good move, again, to just take it, go for the 60,000. Now, the other thing is, this right here might be prohibitive, because that does mean at 59,000 right there, we could be looking at a rejection. That line right there does seem to be kind of aggressive here. So we're coming down and coming down and coming down. So, I would be looking at maybe 59, maybe 60,000 as the next move. But the market continues to move. Dow Jones now up 141 points, and Bitcoin is down 1.3%. It was down 1.7% just a short while ago. And also, this is down to my loss here is down to 28.87%. So making some of it back, I want to say. And we'll see whether or not it happens. Interesting times. Now, anyway, let's move on now because we have to talk about the death of Polygon MATIC. Polygon MATIC is no more. Polygon developers have migrated the MATIC token to POL after a year of extensive community-led discussions. POL is the new ticker symbol for the native gas and staking token for the Polygon POS chain after a year. This change includes POL as the new ticker, and staking on the Polygon chain is also with POL. Exchanges are expected to list the upgraded token. We've already seen that. Bitfinex, we've already seen Crypto.com. A bunch of them are already doing this. The transition to POL is a crucial component for Polygon's development into a ZK rollup chain and its integration with Azalea, which aims to consolidate liquidity and stake across multiple chains. POL will maintain MATIC's existing tokenomics and a supply of 10 billion tokens. The initial exchange ratio from MATIC to POL is set at 1-to-1 with a gradual increase of 2% in emissions over 10 years to support growth. For validators, this emission model ensures continuous rewards, making it attractive for new validators to join and participate. MATIC holders in the Polygon POS do not need to take any steps as the upgrade to POL will occur automatically. However, MATIC holders on Ethereum, Polygon, ZK EVM, or centralized exchanges must actively migrate their tokens to POL via a migration contract. So if you're holding any MATIC right now, you will have to migrate it over most likely into the new POL token. So do that today. It is open, or it should be open in the next couple of hours. Now let's talk about Iggy Azalea's butt for some reason. As you guys know, or if you follow her on X, then you know that she is a big fan of showing you her butt. And she is the owner of the Mommy token. Now, Mommy token was launched by Sahil, and we know that Sahil Amora was a scammer, and he was collaborating with a bunch of different stars to create scam tokens. Well, and then he sells on the chart, and then he moves on. Well, that's what happened to Iggy Azalea's token, Mother, and guess what? She decided that she was just going to make this thing work. So she is now focused and been focused and devoted to making sure that this Mother token gets a nice big run. So what that led to was, and if you look at it right here, this is her Twitter account, 7.7 million followers. And she is just talking about, I was bullish on you until I found out you can't feel the blockchain breathing. And she's joking. Like she is all the way down the line here. What you're talking about, she is only talking about crypto. She is not talking about her music. She's not talking about anything. She's just talking about Mother, and she's looking for, that opportunity, you know what I mean? For a big move. And look, I don't know how many tokens she holds. I don't know if this is a play for her to make a bunch of money and exit. I don't know that. I don't know her. I can't, I don't have any trust for her just because she's a celebrity. That's not a reason to trust somebody. But you can see right here that she's putting a lot of work in to making sure that Mother is a big pump token. Well, with that being the case, Justin Sun from Tron has asked for a collaboration, and he said he sent her a message, and the message on one of her Iggy Azalea is the pseudonym for Australian-born rapper Amethyst Amelia Kelly. That's her name, who became famous for releasing 2 songs on YouTube. And I'm not going to say the names. She received public recognition for them after moving from Australia to the USA. She launched a meme coin named Mother Iggy. And then Justin Sun sent her a message today that says, let's do something together. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's going to be. She responded, any ideas, Justin? And he said, let's do something together. So maybe, just maybe, they're going to, matter of fact, I do think that what's going to happen is if you remember about 2 weeks ago, Tron kind of took off for meme coins. So I bet he's going to migrate some Mother tokens and create a contract for her over on the Tron chain because he wants to migrate business over here. And he'll probably make it a sweet deal for her. And that'll be a pretty good, that'll be a pretty good thing for the Tron ecosystem. And remember, he just burned $8 million worth of Sun tokens, and Sun tokens are the ones that work on the Sun swap. So there we have it. It's probably going to be that she's moving that meme token over there. Every meme token is a scam. Nothing's changed about that. Every one of them is just a wealth transfer from one group to another group. I mean, it's at this point we should recognize that, and it doesn't even have to be said at this point. We know what they are. Sun, however, has a market cap of 275 million, and I think that really what he wants to do is probably reduce the supply of Sun tokens. So he's probably going to use Iggy for that purpose, to bring in a new crypto, to bring in more attention to the Tron economy, and continue to burn Sun tokens because it increases the value therein. So this is MSI. I'm gonna show you guys this. You can take what you will for it. If you're like Matty B, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like it. And if you can read between the lines, then you might see an opportunity here. Okay, I don't know. I don't know whether you do or not. Remember, it's just a meme token. All right, but this came from Monkey Shit Inu about 6 hours ago. That means it was about 3 in the morning. It is done. And this is a handshake right here. It is done. MSI will become a multi-billion-dollar project, in my opinion. Does he know that? No. Could it be? Maybe. I don't know. After my recent conversation with my developing team and the massive transaction I just did, I have no doubt MSI will change the crypto game forever. And he says, Merry early Christmas. Now, what did that lead to? Well, we're in a downward trend in the market. So what happened? MSI is up 13%. We got this big spike that happened right here. What did I tell you last night was going to happen to MSI? Oh yeah, because I'm a goddamn genius. I said, hey guys, you know, if we spike off of this little spot right here, which is your 0.382 line, that we're going to go at least to this 0.236. And guess what happened? It spiked all the way up to the top of that previous level. And when it spiked all the way up, guess what? It went to the negative 0.618. This is all, it's all programmed in, guys. It's all programmed in. Now, what is the next step of this impulse move? Well, let's break this out, because now it's time for a smaller trend here, because we have a trend reversal. This was a downward trend. Now we have an upward spike, which means that we've got another move right there. So where are we coming down? We're at 0.382 right now. What would I think is going to be the next move? Well, I think the next move is some downward momentum, somewhere in between this range right here, between 14 and 1298, and then another big spike, and we could be this could be just roaring and ready to explode. Now, if it does, and it gets a really good momentum indicator here, then you're looking at 5 zeros 2270 or more. If there is some real positive momentum coming from whatever it is that just happened, and I don't know what it is that happened. So all I can say at this point is there could be something big happening. And here's the other part. This is the other part. This is the massive transaction I just did. And the question is, what is that massive transaction? If there's a massive transaction, it could be a gigantic burn. It could be, I don't know what it is at this point. So, you know, we can come down here and kind of see. Meanwhile, they wash away cluelessly like this. Nope, we don't know anything there. We are already MSI. It's always in the kitchen wiping up. Send it. We've got just a little positivity in the overnight market. I don't know what Pablo has up his sleeve, but I like it. You know, there's plenty of different things. Everybody's speculating at this point, so we don't know what it is. Now, if we don't know what it is, then, and he's not announcing what it is, then here's what I think. I think there's going to be a big exchange that might have, remember, he had to renounce the contract just recently. He had to do a bunch of different stuff here. So I got a sense here that maybe we might be seeing some kind of big move here on a major exchange, which would maybe increase a little bit of value. 4.6 or 4.2 million market cap, about 500,000 in liquidity. Remember, you know, this was the big move over here. and that took it up. That was that 7x, 6x from where it is, 6x from where it is right now. Means that it's 25 million market cap, something like that. While we're at it, and by the way, buy yourself some monkey shit. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of foolish at this point if you don't have any, just in case something happens. And it's at the bottom. Like it's, you know, this is your trend line down here at the bottom. Like this is probably going to be a steal. Remember, cup and handle. We were having that conversation. If this actually plays out, then there's a significant rally on hand here. And look, I don't need this thing to be a $1 billion market cap. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is get me to a $50 million market cap and show me that whales want to trade in. And if that becomes the case, we get to 50 million. If that happens, then it will explode. I think that in my opinion, that's where the whole thing is going to really take off. But that's just me guessing. So anyway, buy yourself some MSI today because if you don't, you're a noob. And if you don't know what a noob is, you're really a noob. Also, let's go while we're doing this, just to kind of tell you guys what's going on. Saitama on Solana has launched a V2. There is a new contract address. I'm going to put the new contract address in here. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not hired to do any promotion with them, but I do have a bag, and you know, certainly hoping for something positive to happen over here. But it's up 66, 68% now on the day, and it could see a nice little spike. Now, it did spike up here. What I would like to see is I would like to see it just get back to a penny. That to me would be an accomplishment at this point. It goes to a penny. That would be about 1 million market cap. And you can see here the circulating supply is 100 million. So, you know what I mean? Like that would be a nice little spike. And, you know, if it goes to 10, 15, 20 cents like it did previously, cool. But it's, you know, that's a pretty significant thing right there. 564 holders. We'll see whether or not they're equipped to build this community and to do all of the quote unquote positive stuff that might be happening. Like, I don't know yet. I like Tom Toronto, but I don't know enough about anything to do with the team. They're going to have to cook. They're going to have to figure something out. And then if it looks good, then, you know, this would be a good opportunity. But at a 600,000 market cap with 62,000 in liquidity, probably a good opportunity to jump in. I think they want to work hard in order to remanufacture what happened before. I had a conversation already where I said, you know, get on CoinMarketCap, get on CoinGecko instead of playing around like we did last time, which by the time any of that shit got done, it was just over. So we could see and we could witness a very nice spike from this Saitama token as it relaunches over here. But I don't know. Again, you know, if it goes, by the way, it would be 8x just to get to where MSI is. So, you know, that would turn into a significant bag for you. So you never know what could happen. And maybe the market will allow it. Maybe the market won't. I don't know. Anyway, let's close this out with DevvE. If you haven't already, I'm going to suggest that you go over here. DevvE's got another video out with Austin and Davin where they're talking about how the ecosystem never stops evolving. What you don't know is what we've been up to this past week. No worries. Austin and Davin are back to update on the latest developments in the ecosystem. Check out the video to discover and try your luck at our monthly secret. And by the way, if you're watching me and you don't have a bag of DevvE, you're going to be mad. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be mad. And I do trust the process, by the way. But here's the prizes here if you get involved here for whatever this is. $100 USDT, $75.50, and then fourth and fifth are going to be DevvE merchant. And then here is the contest that's available here. And then that's going to be first hidden word, second hidden. Oh, this is the hidden words. And you got to find them inside the video. You find them inside the video and you get rewarded. So, you know what I mean? I think that's, I think it's actually pretty cool. So, market is now up $5 billion on the day. So we've had a dramatic recovery from that low that we hit just a little while ago. So let's go back over here and let's look at that future. And we are probably down to what, 20% maybe? What do you think? 20%? 17%. We're 16%. So we're down still about $200, but it looks like we're recovering nicely. Will we continue to recover? Look, I don't know. This market, again, I do think that the logical move on Bitcoin at this point is, look at this. We got one of those little 1 hour God candle starting to play out right now. Does that mean the money's going to continue to flow? I don't know if it's going to continue to flow. But I do suspect that we'll probably get 60,000 over the next couple hours. And then once it gets there, then it will probably be time to, in the event that we even get a chance, okay? In the event we even get a chance, then it will be time to maybe park yourself on the sidelines right now and just see what this crazy market presents, okay? And that's just as honest as I can be about it. I really, the market doesn't really have me incredibly nervous, but it has me a little bit nervous for that next leg down, right? So let's see what happens. In the meantime, Solana is up 4.5% on the day. Bitcoin is barely positive for the day. Ethereum is now up 0.5% on the day. So, there's a little bit of a recovery underway. I don't see anything overwhelming starting to happen. You know what? We actually are starting to get a little bit of a spike on XRP at this point. So what to expect from XRP? I'm going to do that tonight on the trading. We're going to talk about what our next levels are on XRP. We're going to pull out some tools, try to figure it out. So make sure if you don't, set yourself a reminder. I'm going to go live about 7 p.m. tonight, and we will talk about what's going on in this market. And we're going to look at some charts and try to figure out what the next step is on each and every one of them. Until then, you guys have a good day. We got Lunk video coming out later on today, and we've got some other stuff. And now it's time to pay the bills, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon. Guys, we're in accumulation phase, and Cryptonomy.finance is the place for you to go in order to stake. You guys have seen what I've staked so far. So what I'm going to do is I have 10,000 XRP, 6 months. Again, wondering what the bull phrase is going to look like. 32% yield off of that. So off of 10,000 XRP, I should have 13,246 XRP when I'm done, minus fees. Boom. We're ready for the bull run. We're going 20,000 into the bronze level. All right, we got $20,000 into this pool. We're in the bronze pool right now. You can see the details of what I've done so far, how much I've earned off of it. My earnings have been just exponential. Why have they been exponential, you might ask yourself? Well, these guys are investing into each one of these launches, and look at some of the results that they're getting. They're picking and choosing the best launches. ZK Sync 4.5x, Ethora 3.5x, Sharp Psi 3.5x, CoinPays 4.7x. They're looking for real solid projects to invest in, and then they're getting this big yield out of it. So if you want to sign up at Cryptonomy.finance today,